It's the NFL on EA Sports. And center stage belongs to Matthew Stafford, as he's moved past 3,000 yards passing for the year and looking for more. It's the Rams and the Hawks, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Give a look at this Seahawk offense as they come out there. And the quarterback brought in as part of that big offseason trade. Now in his 4th NFL season, Drew Lock.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And some room to work. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring. And another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. And here comes Matthew Stafford leading the Rams offense out there, just as he did last season when he captured his first and the Rams' second Super Bowl title.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
There's some oohs and ahs from the crowd as he jukes his way forward for a couple of yards. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 94 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try to find some people going downfield. Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Jordan Berry out to punt on 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Lock now on 1st down. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 32 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Play action. Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's a run with Akers on second down. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And it'll be 4th down.
Smith in on the tackle. A big loss on the play. Brings up 4th down.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Lock now on first down. He'll find his man. That's Freddie Swain. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Lock going to throw. And that's going to be caught. Dwayne Eskridge. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Into the red zone, it's Lock. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, Lock. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Seahawks take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. And the Rams getting set to go now. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Stafford on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 21-0 our score after the Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they've got it 2nd and 7. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for L.A. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Week 13 here in the NFL, first weekend of December. Playoff races definitely coming into focus now, and we got a couple of good ones in prime time. Tonight, national audience gets a look at the Colts for a second straight weekend. This time they're at Dallas, 7:20 Central Time for that kick. And then Monday night, Saints and Bucks from Tampa. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. They look to throw. It's Locke. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreat.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Seahawks with a 1st and 10. Locke gets ready to go at their own 22. After the turnover, here's Locke. Man open downfield, it's Metcalf. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw it is Locke. Not wasting time, going right back to DK Metcalf. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down. Locke now to throw. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Myers connects on the PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Stafford. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%. Only because they still have some tough games to come, and keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to pull off. But so far, they've done it, and they've done it well.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime over. No problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
To throw again on second down, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to the top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick 6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they'll start at the 25 as Powell decides against returning it. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Stafford. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Kupp. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Jordan Berry now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at about the 28. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. DK Metcalf of the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Here's Locke. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Locke. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and the Rams are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. On 1st down, they'll start out with Akers. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Going right back to Akers. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. Flushed out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Jordan Berry in confirmation.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because you know the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of it.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked. Back to Walker on 1st down. Evades him at the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Ken Walker, 30 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick return, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Stafford's throw here hauled in by Cup. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
To throw again on second down. Stafford over the middle, complete. It's Robinson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26. Now a first down throw. Stafford connecting with Cup here on the out route. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 10.
They give up the middle to Akers. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And now it's second down.
Incomplete. Kyle Hamilton was there defensively.
Here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Seahawks have recovered. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Walker now on 1st and 10. 210 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Donald has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On 2nd down, it's Walker.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On the move to his left. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Blocked to throw for it on 4th. He's got a man, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They'll actually throw it with Locke. And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams come up with a late turnover. And it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially